Gosh.
Well, we have to do the Sunday Superlatives presented by Accenture. Before we can get to the Falcons-Vikings game, we have to check the box on this dreck of the Bucs-Raiders game. I don't know what the superlative
that
is
wasn't
out of
that bad. It wasn't that bad of a game.
Yeah, I know. The Bucs tried to blow it. They did try to blow it.
Yeah, they did.
And they ultimately emerged with the victory, due in part to the fact that Aiden O'Connell got injured in the second half, and it was the Desmond Ridder show. I mean, I didn't even – It's so easy to forget where Desmond Ridder is. And he had an opportunity to be the starter in Atlanta, and they loved his intangibles coming out of Cincinnati. But you still have to have a basic level of skill.
100%.
And I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But great leader.
Yeah, right. Great
hard
guy
worker.
In the locker room, all
that stuff.
Yeah,
but you have to have you can't instill the basic talent level required.
He's open, and you have to hit that receiver, right?
And not throw it to the defensive player who's also open,
right?
And you ended up throwing it to. So, superlatives are the Bucs tried to blow it, but they have dug out of their. It was just kind of like middle of the season. What is wrong with them? They can't do anything right. They can't win a game, and they didn't panic and they didn't give up, and they've stayed the course. Maybe that's a little more positive than the Bucs didn't blow it. Staying the course.
Well, they are pirates, so they've
stayed the course.
Right.
They stormed the other ship, and they realized that we don't really want this ship.
They're pirates too.
Yeah, they're pirates, and somebody stole all their stuff already. They're 2-11, or they were 2-10 going into the game. But it was what they needed on the day they needed it, because it doesn't matter how good the other team is. It doesn't matter how well you play. You get the win, and the team you're tied with gets the loss, especially because that team has the tiebreaker already.
Right.
You're now in for who would have dreamed a month ago the Buccaneers would end up back in first place? Because a month ago, nothing was going right for them. Everything's going right for the Falcons, and now here we are.
Total 180.
The Bucs, and the Bucs are, I think, a more complete team and a bigger threat to advance in the postseason. Like, if they're the ones who in the end, if they win the South as the 4 seed and they're hosting the 5 seed, that's not, hey, here comes the 5 seed with the much better record and they're going to easily win. The 5 seed with the much better record may go in there and get their ass kicked by the Buccaneers.
Well, the Bucs
it could be the Vikings going to Tampa Bay losing.
They're explosive on offense. I mean, Baker's explosive. He's got a big arm. Right, Liam Cohen, you got to give him a ton of credit, the offensive coordinator, what he's done with that offense. I think when you talk about the lull they hit, right, they had some injuries on the O-line. There was Chris Godwin and Mike Evans out. They were trying to figure that out. And then we can't forget about this, because I think we kind of just sweep it under the rug because we go, oh, it's Todd Bowles and he's the defensive coach. Their defense is not good. It's not good. It's one of the worst in football. And that's the reason, again, yesterday they kind of jump out to an early lead, but then their defense just lets Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders just march up and down the football field on them. They do that, right? And then it feels like, hey, the Raiders got total control of the game. It's third quarter. The Raiders march right down the field again. You're going, oh, they're about to take the lead. They're inside the 10-yard line. Aiden O'Connell throws a horrible interception on about the 5-yard line, and that felt like the moment where things went back to Tampa. They go down and score and kind of change the game from that moment on.
And it's not going to be easy for them. They're at the Chargers and at the Cowboys for a Sunday night game.
Right.
And then they finish with the Panthers and Saints. The Falcons are at the Raiders next Monday night. I mean, one loss by the Bucs, one win by the Falcons, and it's back to the Falcons division. So this is going to go possibly back and forth, unless the Falcons have just completely fallen and can't get up.
I don't think either team is like good enough for me to just sit here and go, oh, they're going to run the table or anything like that. No, the Bucs have a favorable schedule. I think that's certainly, you can look at that, but there's no doubt they could lose to the Chargers. They could lose to Dallas. They should have lost to Carolina, or at least tried to. Right? So, I mean, you know, every game's going to be close. And I feel much different about the Falcons either in a lot of ways. Right? Carolina, Washington, we see Vegas is still fighting, but they have no quarterback, and it is Desmond Ridder now.
Falcons just got to win a game.
They do. They just got to win a game and get it going. And get
Desmond Ridder is going to get his shot at revenge against the Falcons on Monday night. That's
amazing.
The best I can do, ESPN, to sell that game. Desmond Ridder's getting his shot at the Falcons on Monday night. All right. How about that Vikings Falcons.
Let's go. You want to unzip your shirt a little bit? Pump out your chest a little there?
What do you think I got? You think I got a 14 under here?
No, I don't think you got a 14.
You got a new Sam Darnold shirt?
No,
you think
I
I'm
don't.
too cheap to get one?
I do. I think you have a Justin Jefferson shirt. I think yes, I do.
No, I like it a Kirk Cousins. I was saving it for you for an hour and a half.
Are you trolling him? Are you trolling him?
No, it's the last time I can ever wear this. I can never wear it again after today. Because by next year, who knows who he's going to be playing for? Maybe the 49ers. Who knows?
Right.
But, yeah, this is it. It was the Kirk Cousins return to Minnesota. I found it. I couldn't find it.
Now you can lay him to rest.
5 minutes before I left for the airport on Saturday, and this is my Kirk Cousins jersey swans.
Well, okay. All right, so my superlative is red hair, red hot, okay? Slinging Sammy. That's what it is right there. I love the Sam Darnold story. And to couple or add on to it, yeah, I think get a new damn jersey, you cheap bastard. Buy a Sam Darnold jersey.
I might have to.
Okay, you need to.
Hey, they sent me a Josh Dobbs jersey last year after his flash-in-the-pan moment.
Right.
Maybe it's time to get 14.
Please send him a Sam Darnold jersey.
Hook me up, Paul Allen.
I mean, he only tried to, put Sam Darnold on the bench for Matthew Stafford in the trade.
At least you finally have gotten it right. Because he says, "Oh, you wanted Sam Darnold off the team. I didn't want him off the team. I paid him $10 million. Just put him behind Matthew Stafford and go get Matthew Stafford." But what we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, if he'd been doing that all year long, I wouldn't have been saying those things. We saw, and we said this earlier about the Bills. You get into December. You start playing like this, it can continue.
Yeah.
And
little luck here, got hit as he was throwing.
But something popped yesterday.
Yeah.
This one, if we have the whole play, where because what he can do things that Kirk Cousins never could.
Definitely.
The walls close in and Kirk Cousins is done.
Yeah, it's not over for Sam Darnold.
When the walls close in for Sam Darnold, he can run away from it as he did yesterday.
Yeah,
and then
quick in the pocket.
And if you can buy time with your legs laterally, there's a chance the guy who's trying to keep up with Justin Jefferson is going to fall down because he can't keep up with Justin Jefferson. At some point, his legs are going to give out from under him, and Justin Jefferson's standing there. He did the Randy Moss throw his hand in the air, and he knew, and Darnold got him, and it was unbelievable. And it was 21-21.
Yeah.
It was 21-21.
Here's the player you're talking about here. 14-13. Great escape. Runs out to the right. And, throws a dot. Justin Jefferson was wide open, but Sam Darnold couldn't throw the ball to him because he had to avoid pressure for 3 or 4 seconds. And you're wide open and you made somebody look silly or the coverage was busted. When you do that, the hands up, and you can still sit there and catch the ball almost like a punt and walk into the end zone.
Here's where Darnold has changed. It wasn't that long ago that we were discussing how Darnold would be in the pocket, he'd have time, and he'd make that throw with confidence, and it would be a guy from the other team that catches it.
Yeah.
Now when he makes that throw with confidence,
your confidence going to the right guy.
It's going to the right guy.
Right, yeah. He's definitely gotten better, I think, at not holding on the ball in the pocket too long, not going, wait, the number one read is this guy. I'm going to sit on him forever and try to jam it in there. Right, I think he had to deal with some of those little lulls, but they got everybody going on that offense now. How could you not be confident in Minnesota, at least what Sam Darnold's doing right now? It's the 2 weeks before this, it was clutch end of the game drives. Now it's this one here yesterday. Like, oh, hey, Kirk Cousins is coming down. You're supposed to just be the holdover for Kirk Cousins. You're a holdover.
He's not. He was holding the spot for J.J. McCarthy.
I know. So here he is. It's a big moment. He felt the pressure or the magnitude of that moment. Was phenomenal. He really was. He completely outshined Kirk Cousins. And again, like you just said, people poo-pooed the Sam Darnold thing, and I know we were too, and I was certainly one to go, Sam Darnold's got every bit as much potential as Kirk Cousins, if not more. He's got a stronger arm. He's a better athlete. His release is quicker. He just hasn't played football and been able to be in some of the spots Kirk Cousins has. But hopefully this continues. It was really awesome to watch. Damn, was he on fire throwing the football down the field. And, yeah, the Falcons a little more explosive yesterday, but still, Cousins interception bad when the game was in the balance.
Well,
he threw the ball. He double clutched it and just threw it up into coverage. Right.
The
first one. The other one that got intercepted and they gave it back to the offense was a bad one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he throws the interception at the end of the game, which is desperate, and I know that. They were a little more explosive on offense yesterday, but, yeah, how could you not be worried about Atlanta in general?
The interception where we saw the Fox angle with the camera behind him.
Right.
And
he's throwing a little corner route to the right side.
he knows, like
He
when he
pulls the
lets
ball
go of
back.
it, he knows it's
Right.
getting picked off.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the guy's right there. It's not like he was hidden. He
Yeah.
was right there between Kirk and his intended receiver. 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes over the last 4 games. 8 interceptions, no touchdowns. He's got 15 interceptions for the year. They worked overtime to get the word out to the pregame shows that he's not going to be benched.
Yeah.
He's not going to be benched.
Right.
At some point, we talked about this last night in the FNI pod. It's
Yeah.
in the best interest of the team. That we hear that all the time. Best interest of the team. It's going to be in the best interest of the team to put Penix out there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't. Not with what they're paying him. Not how big and pivotal the move was to get him. I don't think.
But isn't that as big of a mistake as not benching Deshaun
I
Watson?
think they're going to say. I think they're also going to say, hey, the big picture thing is we want Michael Penix to be really good for next year, and we don't want to like mess him up.
But
by
you know
throwing
what?
him out there in this.
That's
crap
what
right now.
talking about benching Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
now obscures the bigger point.
The bigger point
it's
is this
1
is
year.
It. It's
This
1
is it.
year. That's thank you. I was going there saying this is where we work together too much. Yes, I said this on my pod last night. It's one and done. What he's doing, the way he's playing right now, he is not doing himself any favors. The year's going to get over, and everybody in Atlanta is going to watch film, watch him, and go, oh, he's good. But, man, there's more potential with this new guy we got here, the lefty who can just throw the ball wherever he wants. Let's start that era and get it going. That's what it's going to be. And, yeah, it feels like this is the last 4 games of him in Atlanta, and he will be finding a new home next year.
$27.5 million salary next year, fully guaranteed. No trade clause in his contract, but if the choice is waive it and play or don't waive it and sit on the bench, he'll possibly waive it and go play somewhere else.
I would think so.
All right, bonus superlatives. Sammy D for MVP. This is an idea that my son put in my head yesterday. I hadn't thought about it. His question was very simple. If Jared Goff is considered an MVP candidate, why isn't Sam Darnold?
Right.
And my first thought was, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, because that's always my first thought. And then my second thought was, for everyone, you know what? He's right. And when you look at the odds, when you look at where Sam Darnold is, he is currently 50-1, even longer than Patrick Mahomes. Goff is 10-1. If the Vikings are the one, and I think that's what it all comes down to.
I know.
Can they get the 1 seed?
Right.
If they would end up with the 1 seed, how is it not, like, I think at that point it's Darnold or Josh Allen, and maybe Saquon Barkley, depending on where the Eagles show up. But if we're going to talk about Goff as an MVP candidate, given where the Lions are, how do we not? And I think it goes back to what you said earlier. This is the most overlooked 11-2 team that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
That we're just, it's like, and I know I'm part of the problem. I've been part of the mindset, like 12-7 over the Jaguars or the Titans. I can't remember which team they
it was the Jaguars.
12-7, and then they're sluggish with the Titans. It's like they're boring. They don't have any spark. They don't have a killer instinct. They had the killer instinct yesterday, and it was 21-21 in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And something woke up in them in the fourth quarter yesterday.
They go get the touchdown to make it 28-21. They drive down the football field, and then right after that is when Ray McLeod fumbles the kick return.
Yes.
And they go down and score again right after that, and that was night-night. Guys kind of got that killer instinct right now. You're striking when it's time to strike to put a team away. But, I don't want us to get into the, just because they're the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed, we got to pick a guy off the team
I know, but that's
to
what
win the
been.
MVP.
That's what it's been since
I know,
2013.
but we got to use a little logic here. You can't tell me the guy that's going to be the MVP is the same guy you wanted to trade and have him on the bench 6 weeks ago.
Him.
You wanted him on the bench 6 weeks
all
ago.
That's
all I'm saying is he can't be the MVP if at one point of the year you're going, he's the downfall of the team.
It makes for a better story.
And it's a great story, but it's not MVP. That's all I'm saying.
At the point that I said that, I wasn't making it up. It wasn't good enough.
I get it. And
Matthew Stafford,
is that not
for
MVP
a sliver
quality?
of time,
right.
well, it's the full body of work.
It is. It's very good body of work, and I understand what you're saying, and I don't mind him being in the conversation. I don't mind that.
That's the point. I'm not saying he should win it, but how is it Goff is on one side of the wall and Darnold isn't? Because I think Darnold should be on the other side of the wall too with Goff. If Goff's in, Darnold should be in. It's like the guy at the,
I think there's
club
another
with the velvet
door
rope.
there that
if Goff gets in, Darnold
They've
gets
been
in.
annihilating people. He's been
No,
doing
they haven't.
Well,
they've had 3 huge wins.
Mike. They have the biggest overall
Now
net
you sound
point
like Rodney
difference,
on Fridays.
Okay,
Mike,
overall net point difference than anybody in football. They've been dominant. He's been dominant. If you take away 5 interceptions in one game, right against the Houston Texans. This is an incredible day.
Let's just have that conversation. How can anybody who had 5 interceptions in one game be an MVP
Well, it just all happened
candidate?
one game. Oh, okay, but they still won the football game. I understand that. It happens. All I'm saying is really good, but let's not. I don't think he's an MVP candidate like that.
Well, isn't that funny? Because you sure had your nose about 6 inches up his ass yesterday
at
when
least
you were
I
on the
showed some
FaceTime.
realistic. Okay, I'm just saying realistic. I didn't say anything I wouldn't say to him or whatever.
Wait a minute. Sorry, Archie.
Sorry, Archie.
We've been asked
Sorry,
to.
Archie.
I'll apologize specifically to Archie because Archie, a young lad in the UK, heard our salty language.
Be careful of us Americans, Archie.
Because here's what happens, Archie. Nigel is watching soccer, and he misses the button to dump our bad language. So it's on Sky, not us. They do put the warning. I don't know if they still do it on that there is coarse language in this program.
Right.
PROGRAMME, the fancy way. I'm going to start spelling program
you
now.
could. That'd be good.
I'm going to start putting U's gratuitously and all sorts of words.
Did you see yesterday when I said to Sam, too, I said, you're just supposed to be like the replacement guy. You're not. And he kind of like grinned, and then he tried to give like the old humble answer. Yeah. But I'm happy for Sam Darnold.
He should have scratched his forehead with his middle finger.
Yeah, he should have. He should be like, shut up, Simms.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.